Welcome on in to another week here of Sports Memo Today. Happy to be here with you. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and we got not one, but two of our $2 Tuesday handicappers joining me on the show here today. We got Joe D'Amico and we got Jesse Schule stopping by with winners coming your way. We're going to talk a little Lakers action, a little Yankees. Are we betting a money line or are we betting a run line? Joe D'Amico will let you know his thoughts as he's one of our $2 Tuesday handicappers. And then we'll shut things down with the Iceman himself, Jesse Schule, with an NBA future that I absolutely love. And he's also got to play a little bit of a race that he wants to break down in the Cincinnati Reds game today. So let's get right into it because this man waits for no one. Joseph D'Amico, first guest here on the show, repping his best, glasses on, ice around his neck. He's ready to get you some winners. So, Joe, I say we get right into it, my guy, and talk this Lakers game here tonight. Lakers are actually getting the spot, as I guess people didn't watch that series that Golden State just had to kick it off. They looked quite mortal there. So, I don't know. How are we going to be betting game one here tonight?
Well, Dan, I got to tell you, first of all, thank you for having me. I always have a good time when I share a panel with you. You're an amazing host. You're a great setup guy. Thanks for having me. And I get to share a panel with my good buddy, Jesse Schule. Jesse, the body, the Iceman. He's a great capper and a good friend. Spoke to him at 3 a.m. this morning. He's the only guy I know crazy as I am that's up at that hour besides farmers and meth cooks. So I love Jesse. I'm glad to be here with you. Guys, I'm wearing my Knicks jersey today. I'm repping my New York teams. When I wear this jersey, I get an extra 2 inches on my vertical. I can almost hit that net. But Dan told you what game I'm going to be covering. Guys, I know a lot of people out there may have wanted a different matchup in this round than the Lakers and the Warriors, but many also may not realize that these two teams have combined to win 14 of the last 23 NBA championships. Guys, 14 of the last 23 titles. One of these two teams won. This is going to be a good series. Now, granted, the Lakers took most of the earlier ones during that time span. The Warriors took most of the latter ones. But to say these two teams are successful franchises would be an understatement. People are certainly excited in LA. I mean, even Jack Nicholson made his first Lakers game in over 2 years. He's there. And then Steve Kerr, you can always count on him to open up his big trap. Put a lot of undue pressure on his top player, Steph Curry. For those of you who don't know, he opened up his trap the other day and said, he is the modern-day Michael Jordan. Guys, you cannot compare people to Michael. Steph Curry's out there going, he's reading tweets now. Poor guy should be concentrating on the game. Having said all that, for starters, let's get past all the usual NBA BS about injuries on both teams here. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that every starter is going to play here today. I believe they will. Personally, this is an important game and a very important series. Despite struggling through a good portion of the regular season, LA took 3 or 4 meetings with Golden State this regular season. The Lakers also entered the series opener a little bit better rested. That's a big thing during this time of year, guys. They had a few extra days to rest, heal, and prepare. Now, statistically, both offenses score about the same. Both defenses allow about the same. I think the major difference in this matchup particularly will be the Lakers coming in here as an underdog. Obviously, there's a lot of ego on the purple and gold, and they don't like being overlooked at all, folks. That will further motivate them here. But in my opinion, the key for the Lakers in game one to their success is going to be Antonio Davis up front. I really do believe he's going to be a big factor here. Obviously, the Warriors are going to be throwing a lot of big bodies at him, trying to get him in foul trouble or at the very least frustrate him. But no matter what, guys, no matter what they do to Davis, they still have to contend with LeBron. And LeBron shines on this platform, guys. He really does. Just going over ATS trends, LA has covered 3 in a row in 5 of the last 7 meetings with Golden State. 8 of their last 11 against teams with the winning record. 4 consecutive conference semifinal games. And I just feel that making this team this much of an underdog, coming in here a little better rested, is a big mistake. I don't expect a blowout on either side. I do expect this contest to come down to the last few minutes. Therefore, I'm taking the woof woof, the LeBron-led doggy here. I'll tell you that right now. I like the Lakers plus the points, sports fans.
Always like these dogs coming in here to game one, maybe getting a little undervalued here. It happened to my 76ers the other night. So let's see if we can get it home here with the Lakers, maybe even the outright win, but let's take the 4.5 in the spot. Says my man Joe D'Amico. Joe, before we get into your second game here today and it's been between the Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. Just got to mention, I mean, this run that you're on, 16-6 overall run, 6-1 when we're talking about on the hardwood, and the MLB on the diamond, you're seeing it well, 4-1 over the last few days. So when you're running hot, you got to send people on over to check you out at SportsMemo.com. What kind of stuff are they going to see locked and loaded? I know that $2 Tuesday play you're pretty pumped about.
Well, yes, Dan, thank you. Great intro as usual, man. I tell you, following you, it ain't easy. I got to tell you that. Thank you for always being so wonderful. Guys, as Dan mentioned, I have my $2 Tuesday special release. I'm excited to have my oldest and most popular MLB level, my MLB home run play, which are 66% this season. Going back a while, a record of 60-21. Get on that proven winner. Hit a home run, get paid $2. But, guys, I have a 5% play today as well. I won both of my 5% plays on Friday. I'm riding them high, guys. Big game today. One of the strongest plays I've had in baseball so far this season, guys. I'm going to crush it. I won both of my 5% plays on Friday, as I mentioned. Today I have my double play, my MLB double play. Guys, they are 5-1 this season alone. It's up there as a 5% play, guys. I didn't want to hold one back or the other because I love both baseball games today. Follow me. You'll get both big winners over at SportsMemo. But honestly, the steal of the year. Me, Jesse, my good buddy, R&R totals. 3 big winners. What are you getting for it, Jesse? $5? That is amazing. That's off the charts. Go over to SportsMemo right after the show. Don't run. Run fast there. Go take care of that, because that will pay for itself in no time. I do have a big winner in baseball for you, Dan. Let me get into that if that's possible.
Oh, yes, please, because you already had me running over to Sports Memo. Second I heard you yell, run, I was about to start sprinting out of my chair. So what do we got? Yankees, Guardians. What are we betting here, Joe?
Connected for a second. Am I back?
Yeah, we want the Yankees and Guardians. What do we got, Joe?
You got it, my friend. Sports fans, there's no question the American League East is the most competitive division in baseball. 5 teams, none of them with a losing record. However, currently, my New York Yankees, we're in last place in the division, 15-15. They've lost 4 in a row as their explosive lineup has accounted for a total of 6 runs over their current ice-cold streak. As many of you know, I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I'm going to tell you, there are 2 places in life you should never have your heart involved. Number 1 is love, and number 2 is sports betting. Always use your head in both. So when I tell you this play I'm giving out has nothing to do with my heart, this has to do with my head, we're going to keep going, guys. The decision to release this, as I said, nothing to do with my heart. The Yankees took 2 of 3 games in the first series about 3 weeks ago, but they did lose game 1 yesterday by a score of 3-2. Let's face it, Aaron Boone in the hot seat right now. You may not think it, but he is. There's a lot of pressure on the Bronx Bombers to start bombing runs again. If they don't start putting up wins, you can expect a shakeup very soon, guys. I know this franchise. I know their office. They're not happy right now. Having said that, today's pitching matchup is ideal for New York to get we're back on track. Garrett Cole, Tanner Bibby. Wow, what a name. Are scheduled here. Cole has been unstoppable thus far, sporting a 5-0 record with an anemic ERA of 1.11. If you're dyslexic, that's 1.11. He enters this matchup with the second lowest ERA of a Yankee starter through the first 6 games of a season since when? 1959. That's almost the year Jesse Schule was born. Guys, as opposed to a season ago when he gave up a lot of round trippers, you know what? He has not allowed a home run in his first 40 2/3 innings this season. Over his career, 6-2 with a 3.08 and 9 regular season starts against the Guardians, making just his overall Major League second start. Bibby is respectable, 1-0 with a 1.59 ERA. However, guys, I've got to tell you, looking good against the Colorado Rockies is a far cry from showing up in the most storied stadium in the history of sports and face the Bronx Bombers. This youngster is going to feel pressure like he's never felt before. I do feel he's going to fold like your Uncle Morty's cheap suit that he bought at Kmart, and that's a cheap damn suit. Prior to yesterday's narrow victory, the Guardians have only won 3 of their previous 13 outings, and I've got to be honest with you, they really haven't faced too many solid teams over that time. Washington, Detroit, Boston, to name a few, were among those opponents. I think they're going to be in way over their head here, playing on the road against a New York Yankees team that desperately needs to get back on track here today, not tomorrow, today. Prior to yesterday, the Yankees took 4 of the previous 5 meetings in this rivalry. I do look for their lineup to come out of their slump here while Garrett Cole continues to do what he's been doing, and that is winning. Take the Yankees here on the run line. Don't fret. Take a -1.5 plus some juice and take your bookmaker's money.
Man, you got a handicap there. He gave out some love advice. Somehow he worked in a cheap suit from Kmart. That's the D'Amico difference right there, man. And I highly suggest you go check him out. For just $2 today, you can get one of those top-rated plays or up it and grab a great package with him, R&R Totals, and my man Jesse Schule, who's going to be joining me in just a few moments here, all with some top-rated plays. You can get all three of them for just $5. I mean, how do we get away with doing it every Tuesday? It's because we love you here on Sports Memo Today. As I mentioned, that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so it has to be a play that's going down in Texas. That's the Jesse Schule difference there, and he's 70% year-to-date in Major League Baseball. Joe D'Amico, he already let you know about that MLB play that he has locked and loaded, and then we got one on the hardwood for you as well. That's R&R Totals, and he's got, well, a total, and he's up just nearly 67 units in the NBA with those top-rated plays. So definitely check that out. All of that for just $5. So with that being said, let's welcome in one of those $2 Tuesday handicappers, my man Jesse Schule. You got to follow him on Twitter because you never know the delicious food that this guy's going to be dropping on his timeline. All I know, Jesse, when we finally get together, it's going to be one hell of a cookout that we got for the folks, man. How's it been running since we talked to you last, brother?
It's going pretty good. And I got to tell you, you've made it in the handicapping industry when you got a guy like Joe D'Amico opening for you. Joe's a good-looking guy. He doesn't have much left on the top there with the hair. And you're obviously real good-looking, Dan, but you're going a little gray, so I think I'm going to lose my hat. Sport the fact that I still got a full head, and it's mostly black. So, yeah, why not?
My girlfriend tells me all the time that people love the salt and pepper. So I'm going to keep the salt and pepper. It's becoming more salt than anything, Jesse. So I can't blame you, brother. You got a good lid up there up top. And the tan's rocking pretty well too, Jesse. So I guess you're getting a lot of sun while you're watching all these winners, right?
If I let it grow, Dan, it would be a lot more salt and pepper. I got to keep it short to keep the salt out of there. And if I grow any kind of beard, it's just Santa Claus. There's no pepper left in there.
I'm getting there quick. See, look at this. We've given out love advice. We've given out winners, and now we're giving fashion advice and hair advice as well. How to keep it short and tight up top. All right, Jesse, all joking aside, let's get into it, man. You have a play here in the Cincinnati Reds game, and I love when you dive in on a lot of these, I guess you could call them still prop bets where, you take a team that you like, you take a potential total or something like that and find a way to extrapolate value using something like a race to X amount of runs. So what are you eyeing today in this Reds game?
Well, let me tell you, the Padres did win game one by a score of 8-3. San Diego has owned Cincinnati. They've won 9 of the last 10 meetings. Fernando Tatis Jr. was 3 for 5 in game one in his triumphant return to Petco Park. So things are looking great for San Diego, right? But they turned to the back end of the rotation in game two. Their fifth starter, Michael Wacha, is going to be on the mound, and he's struggled at Petco. He's allowed 11 runs on 17 hits in 10 1/3 innings in his 2 starts there. He hasn't been great on the road either. I mean, we all remember when Michael Wacha was good. That was back when Dan's hair didn't have any salt and pepper. But Wacha's seen better times. So not a great starter for San Diego. And the Reds, they turn to a guy who is quite sharp looking at the moment. Graham Ashcraft comes in with a record of 2-0 with a 2.10 ERA. And you hear the record and the ERA, which you see in the newspaper, and you got to really wonder, what does that actually mean? And to put this in perspective, his record of 2-0 with a 2.10 ERA, 4 of Ashcraft's 5 starts have come against teams that are currently sitting in first place in their division, the only exception being a start against the Philadelphia Phillies. And of course, they've got some talent in the lineup. They went to the World Series last year. So this kid's putting up good numbers against good teams. That carries a lot of weight with me. So a pitching mismatch in favor of the underdog Cincinnati here. I like Cincinnati in the race to score 4 runs. I think that the Reds can knock 4 runs in on Michael Wacha a lot sooner than the Padres will be able to get to Graham Ashcraft. And I don't trust Cincinnati's bullpen, so I want to stay away from the full game. But plus 170 on a race to 4 is a good little underdog bet for me.
Yeah, I love these plus money plays, and you've been giving them out with regularity here on Sports Memo Today, and we've been cashing it with regularity as well. So we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds to get those 4 runs across quicker than their opponent. Plus 170 is the number. And Jesse, when I saw the play you were going to be coming with today, I rocked my Sixers finest here because you have a bet in the series price. And I don't know if you're sucking up to me or not, but I like it, Jesse. Where are we going here in this Boston and Sixers series?
I mean, we've already seen it in the NBA with the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. The Heat win game 1, and then the Heat are up 3-1, and they're still an underdog to win the series.
Nope.
And then in game 5, in that closeout game, you got Miami plus 12 points, plus 600 on the money line. I know one cat that was all over that Miami straight up. And now we're seeing the same thing with the Sixers. They're up. They've won on the road in game 1 without Embiid. They're probably getting Embiid back. The Celtics look vulnerable. There's no way the Sixers should be plus money here. It should be the other way around. So I'll take the plus money with Philadelphia. Philadelphia has looked like a team that really wants to win, and the Celtics don't look very good at all. I mean, their series against Atlanta showcased a lot of vulnerabilities in my mind.
No, I think it's a great point that you bring up because with the Sixers team, from being in Philadelphia, I'm reading all of it. I'm hearing the beat writers. If they do lose to the Celtics here again in this series, it's going to be blow it up time. You're going to be looking at a new head coach. You're probably going to be looking at pieces traded. So this really is the last shot for this incarnation of the Sixers. So I think your feeling and eye towards them being ultra motivated is a true one. My concern is, did James Harden use up all the points that he's going to get in the entire series in game 1? That's why we hope that we can get our guy Joel Embiid back.
I want to get one dig in there, Dan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, I came on here and gave out a play on Jokic to win the MVP at plus money. And I've heard now it looks like they're going to give it to Embiid. The writers have all said they're voting for Embiid. But the Sixers are 13-5 without Embiid. What's the V stand for in MVP? Because, I don't think the Nuggets are going that far without the Joker. I don't know.
Well,
it doesn't do a lot
for
Embiid's MVP case.
Yeah, well, so far the MVP, at least the last 2 years, has stood for Vorp, because that's the only way that I could see Jokic getting it over Embiid. The last 2 seasons, this year, kind of agree with you, Jesse. The team has looked just fine without Mr. Embiid. Is it just time for them to say, hey, we need to give it to him, since we didn't give it to him any of the last 3 years, when I think he had a better case than he did this season? That's why I don't bet those season-long awards, for that exact reason. It's so subjective. It so comes down to, here's what the writers want to do, here's what they don't. So we'll end up seeing what happens, but I'm with you. It looks like Embiid's locked that one up, but we'll have plenty of fodder to complain about that, just like Sixers fans have been able to complain about Embiid getting snubbed the last few years. So, Jesse, always love having you on here, especially when you say that my Sixers are going to be moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, what else do you have to promote? I know that $2 play you're very excited for, so tell folks about that, and also let them know what else they'll find up at your page, because I know the CFL's right around the corner, too.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about right now. For me, I'm hitting 80% for the NBA playoffs so far this year, and you'll never guess what I did last year in the NBA playoffs. 18-4 overall, that's 80%.
Not bad.
So deja vu all over again. I've had a lot of success in the playoffs. I mean, we know who's going to play. We know everybody's going at full speed. There's no nights off, and it's a lot easier for me to pick winners in the postseason. 70% start to baseball, so that's certainly what we're looking to do. It's doubtful that we can maintain a 70% win percentage throughout the season, but we certainly enjoy it for the first 30 days of baseball. And I got that Texas Chainsaw Massacre for $2 today. And as Dan already said, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre features a game involving either the Texas Rangers or the Houston Astros. And if you want to find out who, you got to spend $2.
I love it. Go and check it out. Spend that $2 well spent. right there. Big thanks to Jesse Schule and big thanks to my man Joe D'Amico. You can grab both of their $2 Tuesday plays and R&R totals for just $5 over at sportsmemo.com right this moment. So go over there and grab that. Big thanks to my guest. Big thanks to Eric doing a terrific job behind the scenes here on Sports Memo Today. We will be back locked and loaded this coming Thursday with another 4 winners for you, getting you that actionable info in 30 minutes or less. If you like the show, hop below in the comments. Let us know who you're going to be betting on, and make sure you hit that bell so you never miss any of the programming here at Sports Memo or Wager Talk TV. So until Thursday, best of luck, and we'll be locked and loaded for another edition right here on Sports Memo Today.